This season was nothing but a disappointment for the Philadelphia 76ers. The East was wide open, and no one was in their way until Giannis. Supposedly, everyone, including me, thought that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid had finally figured themselves out. And with Jimmy Butler out of the equation, everyone would get more touches, including newly re-signed Tobias Harris. Then they finished sixth place in the Eastern Conference. There are 100 other things I could say here. But the point is, the 76ers need a makeover. So, I'm ready to give it one. So, first off, I want to bring in a guy that can replace Embiid to an extent, grab rebounds, and be a good loser. Not that he would need to be if I was a GM, but he also needs to be able to pass and score. That was one of Embiid's weaknesses. And he has to have a good contract. Who comes to mind? Bam Adebayo. He's on a $5 million deal. And that's nothing for a guy like him. And he was part of the Heat Big Three. That was in the finals this year. And gentlemen swept Giannis's Bucks. No cap, that's a good deal. But what would the Sixers have to give up for a guy like Bam? A lot. And there's also the question from re-signing in 2021. Well, I believe if the Sixers do well and offer him enough money, he will sign a long-term deal. So, what's the trade I'm proposing? Well, I say the Sixers trade Tobias Harris, Al Horford, and their 2023 first-round pick with some cash to cover the salary for Bam Adebayo. Let's say the Heat accept, which they probably won't, but let's say they do. And we have Bam Adebayo, which does two things. One, it erases the need for Joel Embiid, and two, adds the need of a good power forward. So, let's cover the need. Trading Harrison Horford to get Adebayo freed almost $50 million in cap space. That is a lot of money. Okay? So, we have some spending money now. And what do we do with it? We cover all the holes. So, I propose this trade. The Sixers give up Joel Embiid, Josh Richardson, along with their 2021, 22, and 23 first-round picks, and all three of their 2022 second-round picks. So, what do they get? Draymond Green, Wiggins, and Damian Lee. Now, what they're giving up is worth a lot. A MVP-level superstar, which they could get for that package. But that's not what they should get. This trade will fill up all their holes and leave them with $20 million of cap room to fill up their roster and free agency. So, what do you think they should do? Draymond replaces Harris, right? We already have a replacement for Embiid and Adebayo. And Wiggins is just there inside to be the small forward they need. And Damian Lee, the three-point shooter they need. So, this is perfect. Now, they got $20 million cap room, and they don't need to spend that this year. They could spend it next year in the big free agency class, but they're going for the ring, so they should spend it this year. Who should they get? Well, there's Fred VanVleet for even more three-point shooting, which they should do, right? I think that's a good deal. Maybe on a 3-year, $60 million deal, something like that, 3-year, 55. It leaves them with a little bit of spending money, which they can use for some mid-season trades in case something doesn't work out. That's ideal. You should always keep that. It keeps them from going to luxury, too, so I think that's good. A lot of you will disagree on this, but you'll say this isn't the right thing to do. And that's fine, you're entitled to your own opinion. And I agree, most of these moves give them a downgrade in positions from an overall 2K rating standpoint, at least. Well, the fact is Tobias Harris is better than Draymond Green. He's more reliable. Embiid is better than Adebayo, right? But this new team will play much better together, and everyone has their role. Right now, the Sixers are a jumble of decent players, but this will turn them into an Eastern Conference contender. Sure, they lose a lot of picks, but they would be a good team, and therefore the value of picks would be down. And what's more important, winning or trying your luck with the 20th pick in the draft? That's it for this time. I think I've made my point. If you see some weakness in my argument, which I don't think there are, then tell me in the comments. But that's it. I'm out.